On the road. Welcome, everyone. Hello and welcome back. It's another day, another Friday, I should say, another week, another episode of the Weekly Vol. Back again to talk about all things crypto markets with IVX. My name is Waj. Joining me today is Mo, of course. Let's kick things off. And yeah, let's talk about markets again. Mo, how's it going?
It's all going well so far.
Cool.
Let's see what happens.
Let's share this in the Discord and let's get going
I
again.
did, I did.
Sweet, fantastic. I see some people trickling in already. BM people. Timmy's here. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, another one, another Friday, another episode. We're gonna crack things up today. We're gonna talk about markets. We're gonna talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about some of the majors. We'll talk about our favorite bearer. Maybe we'll talk about some TradFi stuff as well, especially with Das yesterday. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about our thesis about a few different things as well coming up because I've got my own personal thesis on how I'm going to play markets over the next couple of weeks anyway. But I'd be interested to hear not only Mo's but also what some of you guys who are watching also have to say about what's going to happen in the market and how you are going to play it. But yeah, I think without further ado, let's go into the main elephant in the room, aka Bitcoin. I'm sharing the exact same chart that I shared last week, where I believe Bitcoin was practically at the exact same price as where we are today.
Yeah,
Now,
almost the same.
yeah, literally almost the same. Now, I think we did actually go down like maybe 3%, but then we also did actually go up a little bit from peaking yesterday, where at Digital Asset Summit, where Trump was actually speaking. I think we peaked around that time. 87.5K approximately. Since then, a little bit of a retracement, but if you just zoom out a little bit, I don't think much has changed overall. We're kind of just in this range, a few percent up, a few percent down, really, but nothing
Yeah,
major
I
or
wouldn't get
nothing.
bullish. I wouldn't get bullish unless we're over 92K.
Yeah, 92K is exactly what this daily resistance is. So yeah, that daily resistance is kind of what I'm looking at. You can see we were in this zone from we were in the zone above, I should say, back in November. We tested it in November. We tested it at the start of December, multiple times around the Christmas period as well, and around New Year, and then a few times in January, again in February. And the saying, the more times you test like either a support or resistance,
The
the
weaker
weaker
it
it
becomes.
gets.
Yeah,
Exactly. And then finally, we kind of went all the way below. We had two attempts to go back on top, but so far, kind of nothing. And normally, what happens, I see this pattern a lot, where you're in a range and you have a deviation across the range, and often what happens is you go all the way back to the bottom of the range and retest it. So yeah, let's see what happens here. It wouldn't surprise me if we go back to the bottom of the resistance again, or the previous resistance, which is now support, I should say. Maybe we have a deviation here, and then we can kind of trickle back to the top. It wouldn't surprise me. At the same time, it also wouldn't surprise me if we slowly just kind of get back to this range as well, above this range. How long is it
yeah,
going to take? This is the thing that I don't know. I'm pretty sure eventually we either see 92K or 77K again. Pretty sure about that. I don't know which one's going to come first, and I don't know how long it's going to take. But this is kind of what I'm just going to be watching for. And you can see this from some of the patterns. Anyway, in my case, where I'm kind of looking for these patterns: lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And if that continues, sure, we can go to the top. But if it doesn't, and maybe we break below this level, then I think we're more likely to go to the bottom, if that makes sense.
mm, I agree. I think so. But personally, I think we bottomed. It's either we bottomed or we're gonna go way, way lower. I don't think that uh, 72, 73, 74 will be the bottom for
You
Bitcoin.
don't think we can do, look, one effort here, one effort here? You don't think there's one more coming for it before going back up? I mean, it's not really a big move down if you think about it. It's 5% move down, maybe 6% move down.
Mm.
It's not a lot.
Maybe it can like just sweep the low and then maybe keep going up, but I highly like don't think it will go to 72, 73, 74 without breaking down even lower.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think right now we're in a bit of an ascending channel, you could say, just here. So this is what I'm personally just looking out for right now. I mean, technically wise, this looks lovely, doesn't it? You'd be getting ready to potentially long sooner rather than later, and hope that we'd hit
Yeah,
89K next. Uh,
longing on level, of course.
of course, absolutely. Longing on IVX, your favorite platform. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the setup that I'm looking at right now. I think, yeah, you could trade this quite easily. I think this is something that I'm looking to trade as well. Just like a very, swing trading from this, but also waiting for the breakout or break below before this channel. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Will be a very nice opportunity for those looking to trade with pups. I think on something like this, which looks clear as day to me right now.
yeah, I think so as well.
Um, so yeah, I think that's basically kind of how Bitcoin is looking. I mean, in the grand scheme, I don't think much has changed. Some people are talking about uh, the bottom being in, as you just mentioned as well. I mean, if you look at like SPX as well, the bottom came in on Wednesday, Thursday, and since then, has gone up a couple of percent. Is this the bottom on the stock market as well? Do you reckon, or do you think this is just a little couple of days of couple of days of hopium before we actually end up
I'd
going
say
much?
so.
Yeah,
It, mm, I think like we might get uh, a few percentages back up before it goes down again, because like SPX is quite different to crypto.
of course.
Like it's a big market, like, and there might be a recession coming, but I wouldn't like rely on it since everybody's relying on it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
But yeah, technically, like it's quite bearish. It broke down like a very major support. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I think. I've heard some discussions around some people saying, the economy is actually stronger than what people make it out to be. It's not actually that bad. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm being honest. I genuinely don't know. So I think it's something that I'll be watching. But I think from a pure technical perspective, as we mentioned with Bitcoin, this is just kind of what I'm looking at right now. And I think I try and keep my charts very, very simple and like easy to understand and appreciate. I'm someone who likes to look at things level to level, and I just map out my ranges. And I think this looks pretty clear to me. We're in an ascending channel right now, but we are still within the range. And yeah, I wouldn't be getting super bullish until we break this. But I think on that break, if that were to happen, if we were to just continue to just kind of trend up, I would like to think that the alts are also going to rip like crazy, especially after
yeah,
such a harsh, brutal 3 months, for the entire market.
yeah,
So
definitely. Like strong alts, I think they will get some breathing room, and we can possibly see like a few multiples on them. Like, a few X's are not difficult in such conditions.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's see. I see a lot of people tuning in now. We have Denmir here, and we have Crypto Goes Viral. How's it going, guys? Of course, we have Magic Jammer as well, who's looking at uh, weekly CPR of 82K. Crypto Goes Viral says $4.7 trillion of options expired today, so there may be some volatility in the stock market. Interesting. Interesting. We have Jasper as well. It says, I'd love to see a fundamental crash to the mid 60s with immediate buy up and Fed pivot due to the fundamental issues that happen. I mean, if we actually look, maybe 60s might be a bit harsh. I don't think 60s will come. But that weekly support, I mean, if we go on the weekly chart, the weekly support here of 72K for me is like the most critical thing, and I think holding that will be like the place to bid. I think if something mad happens, and we nuke even more, Bitcoin goes down another 15% from here. Bear in mind we're already down quite a fair amount from all-time highs. We're already down 25%. Going all the way down to the weekly would be 35%. I think this would be pretty wild, especially given the maturity that Bitcoin now has as an asset class, with of course the ETF and with of course the time that has gone over the years. Yeah, 72K, very very critical mark. I do still think that I'm not convinced that the cycle is over yet. So I do think if we were to go somewhere like this would be a place to bid rather than a place to panic thinking the cycle is over. But yeah, let's see. If we break this, I would be a little bit more worried. I would be personally. So yeah, mid 60s would be crazy. I really hope that that doesn't happen. But you never say never. This is crypto. Crazier things have happened, of course. So that's just kind of my outlook. Mo, what do you think?
I'd say I really don't think 72K will be a bottom. It, in my opinion, it will either be like the one we made, like 76, 77, or either like high 60s, like 67, 68, somewhere around that. I
And I guess
wouldn't say
I guess
72K.
this goes on to something that we were talking about. I think we even talked about it last week as well. The idea that when like it's so when everyone is talking
Consensus.
about a specific price level or specific target, it never actually happens. I remember
Yeah,
this a lot. At the
12K.
pico bottom of Bitcoin, where I think Bitcoin was trading between 16 and 20K, and everyone was waiting for 12K, 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 and it just never ever came.
Yeah,
Is 72K the same kind of thing? Maybe, maybe. I think everyone has got this same level mapped out on their own chart as well. So yeah, let's
yeah,
see.
exactly. So like, who's gonna be the losing person? Because in trading, like when there's a winner, like on the opposite side, there's a loser. But who's gonna be the loser if everybody's gonna buy 72K?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, well, whilst this has been happening, I was looking at a few coins actually. One of them being Sol, and I was looking at sorry, these are just my drawings from last week. I was looking at this level 129 130. Uh, I think last Friday we talked about going above 130 if it can hold, very very bullish. We've had two like attempts now above it and kind of broken down on both attempts. I do think eventually, Seoul, if it continues and is able to hold where it is right now, will have a third attempt at it, and maybe the third attempt, or maybe even the fourth attempt, will be the one where it'll hold this 129, 130, and really go crazy. So I think
Yeah,
for a trade setup on one of the majors, this one looks really really appetizing to me right now. When this comes,
yeah,
of
and
course.
I opened along like 2 days ago on level.
And
I
did you
longed, I
close
think
it?
somewhere around. Nah, I'm still holding, but I kind of FOMOed. I longed at 133, but yeah, still holding. Like I think it will do well.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
180 soon.
yeah, fine, fair enough. I think you could probably set your stop loss like below like 118 or 122 or 121 or something like that. And
Yeah,
this right now is offering you a pretty good trade because I mean your maximum loss is, call it maybe 4%. But I think if
yeah,
this trade does go well, we're talking about 16% here. So that's a
yeah.
good ratio. What's the ratio there? 4-1? Is that how we call it?
Like if you're gonna lose 3% or you're gonna win
If you lose
12%,
4%, 4%, you lose 4%, you make 16%.
yeah, it's 4-1.
Yeah. I can't remember what the tool is to showcase it on screen, like the gain.
Okay, wait. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait. Yeah, the ruler.
Yeah, which ruler is it again?
What do you mean?
Never mind. There's a ruler that you can use to show like a green and a red, like P&L, and based on the risk reward of a trade. I don't use it often enough, as you can
Ah, you
tell. I
mean the
don't use
trade
that tool
setup?
often enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the trade setup.
Wait, how can I describe it to you? Wait. It's
Don't worry about it.
okay. So you
I can't
go
remember.
into Wait, I think it's in forecasting and measurements.
Let's see if I can find this.
Forecasting and measurement, and then you can say if it's long or short.
Ah, long position. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is what I want to highlight to you all. Look, you can see how good the trade is here. This seems like a good trade to me.
Yeah,
Yeah. I should use this more on the streams, right? Because I can picture it in my head, but
yeah,
to visualize it, it's nice. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at unsolved.
yeah.
Make sure you, if let's say the market nukes, make sure you cut your positions. This is why having stop losses are perfect. So yeah, have your stop there, your targets there. This is a very, very nice trade setup in my opinion.
You should long some now.
No financial advice. I don't know. This is just kind of what I'm looking at.
No, no, I'm talking about you, Waj.
Me, yeah.
Go on level right now and long. Yeah,
I don't even. I need to. Yeah, we should do that, shouldn't we? We should do that. Right. Let's take a look at ETH as well whilst we're at it. I think it's always good to look at the top three coins. From last week, we're actually up, which is interesting. ETH did actually go above $2,000, which triggered me to write a monologue about one of the times that I saved a patient in my hospital by telling them that the price of ETH had gone above $2,000. Unfortunately, that didn't last very long. It lasted just a day, really, and we're back under $2,000 again at 1,947. I mean, what is this chart? What is this chart, Mo? Honestly, this is doom and gloom.
it's very sad.
Very, very much doom and gloom. Um, I don't really know what to say, really. On the 4 hour, I guess maybe you could kind of have a quick look at something like this, but I don't know. I don't really think that this is looking too good right now at all. Actually, don't really see how ETH is going to go, back to 3K or above anytime soon. Yeah, it just doesn't look good to me. We're sitting at levels that we haven't been at for the entirety of 2024. We're at the same levels as what we were in November 23. We're at the
ETH BTC ratio is at the lowest
Yeah, we're,
point
we're at the same
since
levels
early
as
2021.
summer 23. Yeah, just quite shocking, actually. Quite shocking. We're at the same levels as we were in August 22. This is after the Terra Luna collapse and just before the FTX collapse as well, which took us all the way down to 1K. Yeah, nothing really to say there. Yeah, new lows on ETH BTC. Yeah, when is the bottom coming on this? Is it actually gonna be the actual bottom that we saw back in 2019 when I believe you could pick up one ETH for less than $100? Is that the level that we're going to go to next? Maybe I need to actually shift this down here because if this is the case, we've still got another 25% to go if we go to this level. We are, if we actually look though, at a historical level where we touched in January 2021, and I think we're not actually that far off a level where we were back in 2020 as well. We're talking about 10% there, so maybe this could be where we end up going to next, somewhere around there. I don't know. But yeah, overall, this is just a terrible looking chart, and yeah, I'm not convinced that this is changing anytime soon. Having said that, I mean, one thing have you noticed that the velocity of the decline has increased rapidly. So I mean, if we inverted this chart, I think it would be really interesting because you'd basically be thinking this is full on euphoria now. Like this is just up only, like literally straight candle up. Especially if you look at like from December to now, the last 4 months, I think we've been obliterated like 45%, which is pretty wild. I think. So yeah, I think that's an interesting one. Let's see what happens next with the chart. Like,
Yeah, because like if you invert it and it becomes very euphoric, like people usually advise you to like take some profits off when it's like becoming this
Yeah,
euphoric.
yeah.
So maybe this could be a sign of it like becoming
Yeah, look,
overly
I've
bearish.
inverted it, right? Here we go. Look at this chart now. Like clearly getting close to hitting
Crazy.
hitting some resistance there. I mean, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if you've been able to ride this. Maybe you've got a little one more leg coming up, right? One more leg coming up until you hit that point. And if you hit that, oh my gosh, you're in like new all-time highs. But I think, yeah, when you get to these areas, maybe we're gonna go back to here or something. I don't know. I don't think so. We have to remember this is an inverse chart, not the actual chart. This is
I
this
wish.
is inverse ETH BTC. But yeah, this is a fun one to look at, I think.
BTC ETH.
Yeah, this is actually BTC ETH. Yeah, this is BTC ETH.
Why do you say inverse ETH
Because we're
BTC?
just always used to looking at that chart, aren't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this just really goes to show, if there's ever something to do trading wise, it's like pair trading, right? You long the strong asset, you short the weak asset. And I think ETH, like BTC ETH really showcases this. But I think BTC anything showcases this. I mean, give me a random altcoin, any random altcoin.
Beta. Beta.
Bearer doesn't work. Give me a different one.
Yeah, yeah. BTC beta, BTC beta. I mean beta BTC and
Oh yeah,
inverted.
yeah. Bear. Let me go for BTC USDC and Bearer. Should be able to do Bearer USD actually.
Use USDT, USDT,
Okay,
USDT.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so this chart, I mean, again, just goes to show, like on the first dump, if you just bear traded, you would have done pretty well for yourself. I think up 50% of the peak, but yeah, otherwise not too bad. I think bear has been holding up okay actually. So this chart
Beta
doesn't
has been
look
doing
as
very well.
green as it possibly could.
Beta is up nicely while other coins are like
Okay,
getting
so maybe
wrecked.
this is a bad example. Give me a different altcoin. Any other random altcoin. Okay, let's use Tau. It just came in my head.
Say.
Say? All right, we're looking at Tau first. This is oh wait, I've done it the wrong way around. Here you go. Here's BTC Tau. As you can see, BTC is a monster, and like you just need to pair trade something like this, and you make a lot of money. Same thing with something like Say. I'm sure the chart is going to look very very similar. Yeah, I mean look at this.
Oof.
Again, at any point over the last like literally year, this is going all the way to January 2024. This is 15 months of up only generally price action. Uh, yeah, very very nice to see. 790%. I think these charts are just going to continue really, and the great thing is that you can actually now do this sort of trading on IVX as well, especially because I can basically go and open up a Bitcoin long position, right? I can open up, let's say $1,000. We can keep the leverage at 1x as well. I think this is the beauty of it, or even 2x, right? If you want to use a bit of leverage, you don't actually need to use any leverage whatsoever. You can use 1x leverage, and then you can go and pick any of these alts, that you want to kind of take on the short side. Some of these alts, aren't necessarily strong coins.
Maker.
I mean, Maker's probably a little bit stronger than some of the others, actually. I think they've got some good catalysts going on for them. But
Have
uh,
a VChain. VChain.
VeChain, yeah, absolutely. This is something, there's 7.5 million of
Adoption.
liquidity available to you. Just short it.
Yeah, so there's deep liquidity and you won't get like slipped.
No, exactly. And on top of that, you have the funding rate, which will pay you on the short side around 7%, 8% as well. So this will offset the funding that you pay on the BTC. You basically create a synthetic spot position at 1x leverage, and you're hoping to see a price chart that looks really really nice. Let's see if I can. I mean, look at this chart. This is Bitcoin against VeChain. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. This is a up only chart since 2021. This is 4 years. You could have just held this position up 1,500%. And yeah,
1,000?
1,500%. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
This is from April.
A pair trade being up 1,000% is pretty
Yeah, I
impressive.
mean, you just have to hold this position for 4 years. And at any time, you could have entered the position. And had you just held it for at least maybe 3 months, you'd be in the green again. And in general, like the trend has just been like just up and up and to the right, literally. This is 4 years of price action, which I think is crazy. I mean, this is, I think, some of the opportunities that you get in crypto right now, actually. And yeah, I think it's a beauty of like part of the beauty of it. Timmy says, look at BTC Atom. We're gonna laugh a lot on this one, I'm sure. Atom USDT. Oh my goodness me. Oh my word. Oh my. This chart is unbelievable. Oh my goodness me. Mo, you don't want to know how much this chart is up.
What's this? BTC
BTC
what?
Atom. It went all the way up to the peak.
20x?
Yeah, 20x. Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, 20x. That's wild, wild.
Timmy is crying.
And this honestly is literally up only. This is like literally up only. This is crazy. Like even in this harsh market condition, you still would have printed. You would have printed. I mean, these are the altcoins of this cycle. It's not buying Dent coin or buying, I don't know, Quant coin or ever random coin that was last cycle. It's buy longing BTC and shorting alts, and you get the exact same payoff as some of your favorite alts from last cycle. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my goodness me. Um, yeah. Let's see. All right, a few comments. I think it'll be interesting to see what some people have to say. So yeah, I saw Timmy mentioned BTC Atom. That's where I got up to. BNC. I'm sure this is a very similar looking chart as well. Uh, BNB is an interesting one because BNB actually has some fundamentals, quote unquote. Binance is still, the biggest exchange. They're still doing buybacks, and BNB is really used a lot for these launch pools and things like that. So I think BNB is actually quite a strong coin. I wouldn't ever really short it. Uh, okay, here's a question from Designer. I think we all agree old school alt season doesn't exist anymore. But don't you think this up only chart of Bitcoin dominance could invert or at least go on wild drops? This is a really interesting point, and Mo, I'm keen to hear what your thoughts are on this. Uh, uh, just a quick few brief points on my side. I think Bitcoin dominance. We've kept talking. We keep talking about it for the last 6 months. Is it eventually going to go down? It's not. We're in a different world now with Bitcoin being, this this asset that's liked by the world. It's liked by the institutions, the likes of BlackRock. It's on Wall Street with the ETFs, and you've got Trump like being a protagonist for it as well. With this U.S. reserve that they have right now. I think Bitcoin's kind of in its own world right now, and I think it's actually disconnected from the rest of the crypto market. And so, whilst I think we all agree that altcoin season doesn't exist anymore, I don't necessarily think that Bitcoin dominance is just gonna follow patterns that it had in previous cycles, where it drops all the way down when there's a massive alt season. I think there's just far too many altcoins now. There's far too much capital spread across all of these different sectors. We have a lot of fragmentation of attention. I can't even keep up with like some sectors like the gaming sector, or maybe some of the other upcoming sectors. Social crypto assets. I'm not keeping up with them as much as I possibly could before, even though I'm spending so much more time in markets trading. there's just too much going on, and I think all of this just and we haven't really seen the capital for altcoins flow in the same way as we have with Bitcoin. And I think like if we look at like total 2 or total 3, you can really see this as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Mo, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'd say almost the same thing because, like, if you look back at previous cycles, like, most of the time money was flowing into alts because, like, not many people were that educated on crypto, and so they'd like approach coins that were very cheap or like had prices such as 0.00, and it goes on. And other than that, I think people realized that most of the coins have like low float, high FDV, so which made them like go more towards like coins that aren't low float, such as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like it's almost the entire supply is circulating, and that's another reason why I think meme coins were hitting it off because like almost all of the supply was unlocked like in the beginning. So if it were to dump, it was gonna dump immediately.
Mm.
So it showed like some people like having the will to hold and actually believing in it, other than the, like just being chilled on Twitter or TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely.
But yeah, eventually, like I think Bitcoin dominance goes to 70%. Like it's a matter of when and not if. But yeah, we can always get some breathing room on Bitcoin dominance, and we saw it in November. Like I think it went down almost twenty
Yeah, it
percent.
did. It did. It went all the way down to 50.
Yeah, so that was a good alt season. Like from November till the end of December, almost everybody made money during that time.
Yeah. Yep. Um, yeah.
But yeah, we just have to understand that Bitcoin is on a whole nother level. Like there's constant inflows into Bitcoin coming from Sailor, coming from ETFs. While if you compare to other coins like Ethereum, there's constant selling from the Ethereum Foundation, or any other like VC coin, like VCs getting out, investors getting out, teams even exiting. So I think it's normal.
Yeah. No, no, makes sense. Makes sense. Um, yeah. th- there is no longer Wagmi. I think you create a fair point here. Yeah, there's a lot of fragmentation. So yeah, I think it's a lot, way more.
There was never a
There
Wagmi.
was last cycle, but yeah, maybe this cycle not so much.
Nobody made it, man.
Yeah,
We're all still
I know,
here.
I know. Tell me about it. There's something called Terra Luna that messed me up in the end. But yeah.
Yeah, I lost my entire crypto.
um, thankfully, we should hopefully not see anything like that ever again. But again, you never know. This is crypto. Crazy things always happen in this space. Um, so I think okay. Personally, what are some of the different strategies that you're looking at when it comes to trading markets right now? Maybe Mo, you go first this time, and maybe I'll add some of my personal things. What are the specific sectors or tokens you're looking to either long or bid? Are you looking at any specific trading strategies in this market? Let's give the guys some alpha and try and like help them figure out some potential ways that they can actually make money in this market as well.
Personally, like I try to be, be around coins that have a lot of attention. And like the most coins that have some attention recently are like the Kaito, Story Protocol, and Berachain.
Okay.
So like I'm trying to accumulate some positions in these coins because like I know that the bottom hasn't like the market isn't over. Like the cycle top isn't in yet. I think we'll go up like to maybe 120, 130k, even 150k. So by that time, I think that coins that are new and like fundamentally strong will perform well. And like one of them is Kaito or Story Protocol or Bera. So and since I have some spot bags, I'd like approach yield farming strategy. Like for instance, with my beta, I would go and I actually sold all my beta and longed the same amount on leverage, on 1x leverage. So I'm earning like a decent amount of funding. There has been a few days where I've earned like close to 1% a day. So I think that's good.
Yeah, fine, fair enough. So to summarize, you're looking at longing some of these new coins, especially some of them that I've pulled back now, like Kaito. And I just basically looked at this and thought, hold on, this is very, very close to the bottom. You could potentially open a trade here where you're looking to go back to the previous resistance, and cut your losses if it falls below the previous support. This is like a five x return trade here. This one looks pretty good to me. And then you mentioned Bera, and then you mentioned some of the yield farming stuff as well, right?
Yeah,
Was there something else as well?
that's it. Or probably like accumulate ecosystem coins.
Yeah, no, I think I have a very similar strategy as well.
And my favorite is Henlo.
Henlo, yeah, I know you're a big fan of that one. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. I think yeah, some of these new coins like IP, Kaito, Bera, there's Nillion as well, which is coming out pretty soon, which I think will get a lot of attention. I believe it's
Yeah,
actually
I think it's in 3 days.
Yeah, I believe it's actually the number one Kaito on token on the pre-TGE thing. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can find it. The pre-TGE Kaito token list. This is very, very interesting. You guys should pay attention to this for sure. Kaito. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to try to pull it up. But yeah, these new tokens I think are really, really interesting. And then I think also like on top of that, I think it's going to be kind of the stuff that we're into as well, like looking at Bera, for example, which I think has a really, really actually good looking chart now. Oh, excuse the notes that I've made here.
And it's been shelled by Eugene,
Yeah, so go and talk about that whilst I'm
the
just pulling
pigeon
up this
himself.
chart. Why don't you tell us about it? There might be some people who are watching who don't know who Eugene is.
Eugene is like a big trader on CT, and he called Athena, I think, around 0.2 dollars, like 20 cents, and I think it went to $2
Yes,
was.
it is.
Yeah, so like he's a popular trader. He's on the leaderboard of Bybit also, I think. So and he, like just today this morning he sent something on his Telegram. Wait, let me read it out.
Yeah, I think this message is
It's a bit
very
long, but he's
important.
just saying that he's long on Beta, like because he says it has like a superior sustainable yield loop that requires Beta to participate in like stuff similar to like the avalanche back in
Yep,
2021, and because of like extremely light positioning across both retail and institutional fund, and like it being a new coin along with IP Kaito, and what also and just because it's slow market cap, it's slow float.
yep. No, I agree. I think we're actually in a very interesting environment now, and I think, I mean, look, here's my bearer chart, and I think, look, first attempt at this 6.1 level struggled, second attempt struggled again, third time a charm, but we got rejected from 7, back all the way back down. I said, please stay above the black line, and things will be good. We're back above the black line as of this morning, and so I think whilst we're above this black line, things look good to me, and I think we can definitely head towards the 6.9 mark. And I think, look, we rejected off it once, rejected off it twice.
I think we'll get 7.2 within 24 hours.
Oh, that's very, 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 very bullish. But I think, is this going to be, third time lucky? Maybe it is, and I think if it is, this is what I'm looking at. I think Bearer actually looks very, very, very good right now, and yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what happens if it reaches this green line again. Which, yeah, I'm expecting it to, considering just kind of how this chart looks from a technical perspective. Of course, the fundamentals as well are a different thing altogether. I think we're all very, very bullish on the fundamentals of Bearer Chain and the Bearer token as well. So yeah, let's see. But I think from a technical perspective, from a trading perspective, this is good. I am looking at opening some longs on Levo as well. You can do this right now. You can simply just go to IVX, lever.ivx.fi, and you can basically trade this right now. It looks like, as we're
What's the
speaking right
funding?
now, in the last few minutes, the funding is not 30% that you get paid to long as well. Um, which is not too bad. But it looks like as we're talking right now, on the 1 minute chart, this is
Ooh,
actually going up. Like we're having some big green candles here on the 1 minute chart. So yeah, I think looking good.
I love it.
It's looking good. It's looking very good. Looking very
Send
good.
it.
Yeah, send it indeed.
I think we can get at least $10. At least.
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. Uh, we have a request actually from Jury who says, let's have a look at Bedrock. I didn't even know that Bedrock launched their token yesterday, which is crazy to me.
I think Bedrock
Um,
on
Bybit.
what's it called?
No,
No,
this
no, no,
isn't
no.
the Bedrock.
Dex Screener. Dex Screener.
It's on Dex Screener.
I think so.
Right, give me a second. Do. Is it on BNB? Yeah. Yeah. Um, hold on a second. I didn't even realize that they launched their token yesterday, but good for them. Uh, has been trading within a little range. Not too much volatility just yet. But yeah, keep an eye out on this one. I think looks like maybe some people were able to get in at like 130 million FTV. It did actually go all the way to 200 million FTV. Yeah, keep an eye out on this one. Yeah, might be a good one. 30,000 holders already as well. Pretty good. Yeah, I haven't studied the tokenomics here, so I don't know much on the token perspective. From a technical perspective, it looks okay. It's just in a range right now. Let's see. It's still very early days. This is a 5 minute chart, so yeah, let's see. One that to keep an eye out on for sure. Okay. You mentioned something else regarding like looking at allocating into certain ecosystem tokens as well. We're bullish on Bearer, of course. We're also doing the same. Well, I am anyways, looking at doing some of these different strategies when it comes to like earning yield on my stable coins, but also doing like Bitcoin pair trading, which for me has worked really well in the past. And they're positions that I can just kind of keep and hold for a long time as well. And then it's also like this directional kind of on-chain trading as well, which I think can come to your benefit if you pick the right alts. Now, picking alts is really tough, but I think if you're in an ecosystem that is running, like for example something with Bearer, where we expect potentially there to be a little narrative around kind of how markets are going to go, then maybe there's an opportunity for you to bid some of the ecosystem tokens within this within that particular ecosystem. And so that's something that I'm looking at doing right now as well. There are a few alts that we mentioned as well. One of them something like Henlo, of course, which seems to have just been basically flat for 2 weeks
Good
almost now,
accumulation.
or at least 10
It's
days.
good accumulation.
Yeah, accumulation. So I think if you can just kind of dollar cost average your way in, then maybe something like this is
Well, you
good.
need to get
Of
some.
course, have your stop loss. So you know that if we do break below, you're ready to like cut some of your losses. But at the same time, I think this does offer something that I think is fairly interesting. And yeah, probably I do need to pick some up actually.
Yeah, it's quite cheap,
Uh,
like 30 million.
yeah. And I guess again, some of the other different ecosystem tokens as well. I think we've talked about these quite a few different times, and seeing like finding some value with some of them for your trading. Okay, we're getting close to the hour mark, and so I think I want to spend the last few minutes just whizzing through a bunch of different trading charts, and many of these you'll be able to trade on Levo as well. So maybe we can just kind of whiz through a bunch of different tokens, quickly look, do the charts look bullish, bearish, or like would you touch them, would you not touch them? Would you long, would you short? We can just kind of come up with like a few different things. No financial advice, of course. We're just talking about our own personal opinion here. So yeah, let's look at IP first. If you look at this chart, how does this chart look to you right now? Hold on, let me zoom out. We'll look at the 4 hour chart on all of these.
Looks good. It looks good.
Whoops. Sorry, let me just delete all of this stuff. Yeah, looks okay. Look, I mean, doesn't look too
It looks
bearish. I'd say
decent. It
right
looks
now
decent.
is yeah, it's held. It's
It's better
held
than
this
Bitcoin.
level really well. Yeah. So yeah, I think maybe it retests again, but yeah, otherwise I think I'd be looking at closing this gap to around somewhere like there. Yeah, okay, not too bad. We looked at Kaito. Let's look at Kaito in a little bit more detail. I think I really like the Kaito chart. It's actually looking pretty interesting to me right now, um, especially because if I zoom in, you can see here that there's support here. We're pretty much at support, so I think this offers a really interesting trade as well. If you opened up a long position here, and you're looking for getting to that previous level that we were at right there, and you can basically cut your position if we go below that wick. You know, okay, maybe it's not the best risk to reward. Maybe if you're thinking of something like that, it's okay. I think some of the other trades might be a little bit better, but yeah, an interesting-ish one to me anyway. Um, Hold on, here we go. That's better. It looks pretty good there, risk to reward ratio wise. Um, yeah, not bad in my opinion. Not bad, not bad from a trade perspective there. Let's see how that one trades out. Give me some more tickers. We'll look at SWE next.
Sweet.
For those of you listening in the chat, give me your tickers. We'll look at them all. Wow, SWE underneath this level now as well. Interesting. I personally would not touch SWE right now. Not look at that. We called the top perfectly on that one. This is not something that I would want to trade myself. What do you think, Mo?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it, but like probably in the low $2.
I'd like to think that look, this has been in a downtrend. What happens next is it kind of just goes into accumulation phase, and maybe that's the point where you want to pick up on like a deviation there and pick up something there.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I'd look at it. How I'd look at it right now. But to me, this is like still in this kind of downwards phase. I'm not convinced that this is over just yet. I'd want to see it
Cerebro.
accumulate a little bit first. Okay, let's look at the AI coins. So Cerebro, this looks like it's bottomed now. I mean, you can see this went up a lot originally. If you look at the deck screener chart, it basically looks like it went up like that, and then basically went all the way to 1
96%.
billion almost, and down only. Yeah, 96% down. Definitely looks like it's flattened now. So yeah, I agree from a technical perspective. This might be interesting. What
Because now
like
it's
the
only
thing is,
at like
what
30 million market cap.
the thing is, right? What's gonna make this go up again? Like, what's gonna make this have like a big bounce? Why is it not just gonna carry on like this for a long time?
Yeah, that's the only concern.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know
volume
the
picks back
catalyst
up.
for something like this.
Yeah, you need
But
volume.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I think if there's volume, this will do well, and I think if there's any sort of catalyst for it, it's bottomed, right? You can cut your losses for a small loss, really, if this doesn't go
Minimal loss. Like how low
to
can it
plan.
go?
I think
It's 30 million.
yeah, most of the damage has been done here for sure. Agree. On that note, let's look at AI XPT as well. I haven't
It's
looked
like
at this
80
chart
million,
for a
I think.
while. 100 million. Again, this looks like it's in the beginning of an accumulation phase. Maybe Cerebro is a little bit more ahead of it, but I do think maybe we're getting there on this one. Let's see how much. Let's see if this goes a little lower first and then accumulates. But I think we're getting there on AI XPT for sure. And did you have any thoughts on AI XPT, Mo?
Yeah, nothing. I lost so much money.
I think AI16Z looks the exact same. The chart looks identical.
AI16Z went from 2.6 billion to
Yeah, to 170
yeah,
million.
crazy.
No, I mean, look at these charts. They look identical looking charts. Yeah. I think both of them, we got to wait for a bit of accumulation.
Agree.
Tau also not something that I would want to touch here as well. I mean, it's down quite bad, even though the fundamentals for Tau are pretty good actually. But this just no one wants this at all right now. It did hit support I think we talked about it last week as well. This is actually, we're talking 2 weeks of trading now, like just basically flat. So this is definitely an accumulation now, I think. Maybe the next catalyst is what sends it up. But yeah, I think your downside, you cut your losses below this point here, you know? I think at that point it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not the worst one in the world, especially if it's been trading sideways for a while. But yeah, let's see. Definitely doesn't look bullish here. I'll tell you that for sure. One thing that might look a little bit more bullish is grass, although that seems to have also pulled back a lot. This had a pretty big rally earlier this month, actually, going from the lows of like under $1 up 190% in like from February to March, where everything else was going down, but this carried on. But basically has fully retraced, and look at that, complete retrace there. Now below that $1.30 mark as well. Where is this one going to go? I mean, I don't know. I think this one doesn't look that good to me. If I'm being honest, it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
Right, we need some bullish charts, man. All of these are looking kind of bearish. Give me some bullish ones. So designer said Tau. We had Magic Jammer who said Sui. Magic Jammer said Ave as well. Ave might be an interesting one, especially because we like DeFi here. Let's have a look at Aave, which, if we zoom out, you know, this actually did perform really, really, really well. But since the peak of $400, down 56%, but back to where we were, you know, towards the end of 2024. I think where we are right now is actually a pretty good, like, general level of where price has been trading before. If I just map this horizontal line out, you can see here that this has been previous resistance multiple times before breaking out previous support. Now we're at support here. This maybe is going to be something where it's just kind of trading like this. I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery like that. I think that would be extreme. But maybe it starts to trend up slowly again, you know? I don't know. I think Aave is still the powerhouse of DeFi. It's still like the number one or number two app in DeFi today as well. So yeah, maybe this one is interesting. I think if you wanted to accumulate here would be a good idea. Otherwise, I think, you know, basically between in this channel as well, if it does break down, then yeah, just be ready to pick it up at $120, etc. You know, I think you've got a variety of different options there for you.
Yeah.
Any tokens you want to look at as well, Mo?
Let me see.
In the meantime, whilst you're picking, I'm just going to pick a few others as well. Oh, how did we forget hype? Oh my goodness me. How did we forget hype?
Bybit.
Look at hype, Bybit chart. Okay. Talk me through Hyperliquid. What are you thinking with this chart, by the way? Let me see. Was there a different chart that I maybe I made notes on a different chart? Anyway, yeah, we can do the notes again. Talk me through this chart. If I zoom out 1 day chart, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, like obviously, it went down a lot. It went down like 70% from the highs, but yeah, I think I will wait for a bit of accumulation before like buying some. But yeah, hype at $12 is cheap. Even $10, like even below $15 is cheap.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like we're just kind of in this range right now, and yeah, I'm not sure like how long it's going to take for something like hype to break out of this range. Like fundamentally, I think hype is still fantastic, but yeah, maybe you get another chance to bid at, you know, 12, 13. I don't know. There was a lot of FUD around hype as well, but they seem to have managed everything fine. I think eventually, when this does break out, here is your opportunity to long, right there.
Yeah.
Right at that point here, right there is your point to long. Yeah, you know, I like hype. I think hype is a good one. It's absolutely, as you said, you know, it's down massively. It went down 70% almost. You know, what's a fair price for hype? You know, is it like $20 or so? Is it $25? I think there's a big. Yeah, I mean, if it's $100, you know, you're talking about a huge trade there. We're talking about 600% up. If that's the case, $100 will take it to basically flip BNB. I don't personally think that Hype is ready to flip BNB yet, but it's doing good. It's doing great, and yeah, I think Hype can position itself really, really strongly. Yeah, let's see.
Sonic.
Good one for sure. Um, right. One last token. I'll let the first person who types in the ticker, and we'll look at it. The first person who types in the ticker will open up that chart, and it will be the last one for the show this week. Who's it going to be? What's the ticker? Type any ticker you want. We'll put it
The
up
ticker
on
is
chart on the chart.
IVX.
The ticker is IVX. Come on, who's it going to be? Give me a ticker, guys. Give me a ticker. Let's see what they say.
JLP.
JLP. Good one, actually. Good one. Because I think this actually leads us very nicely into what we'll end the show on, just talking about IVLP. So this is JLP. Let me share my screen here. JLP had a phenomenal performance, but then obviously since January has gone down. How much has it gone down by? We're talking 23%. Now this is really interesting because if you look at Solana, Sol is down a lot more than that. Sol is actually down. Sol's down 57%, but JLP is only down 23%. So yeah, for those of you who held this instrument, you've outperformed Sol, which is good, especially in the last 4 months, and you've still had a lot of stability there as well. And JLP of course earns all of the fees that come from trading on Jupiter, and so at the moment that's hundreds of millions per year, and this all goes to JLP holders. Well, 70% of it does anyway. So yeah, I'm expecting this to kind of generally do well in the long run anyway. Even if Sol doesn't necessarily perform well, it should still generally do okay and should still trend upwards as more and more fees get accumulated. But yeah, this is a giant, and we're going to try and bring this exact same concept to Berachain through something called IVLP. IVLP, of course, being the counterparty to traders on IVX through our new option market, which is called DM. We actually had an article on this yesterday, just talking about our pre-vol deposit program, which is actually going to start next week. So for the first time, you guys will be able to get exposure to this kind of JLP-like instrument. The difference, however, is JLP is actually weighted predominantly in Sol. We, however, kind of making things a little bit more balanced and weighting predominantly in Honey, so a stable coin. Now, IVLP contains 4 assets as a whole: Wrapped ETH, Wrapped BTC, Wrapped Bearer, and Honey. The weightings are 50% Honey, 20% in Bearer, 20% in BTC, and 10% in ETH. And next week when we launch the vaults, you can deposit in any of the vaults. Technically, it doesn't really matter which of the vaults you deposit into, because for every $1 of deposit, you're going to get an X amount back in IVLP. So it doesn't matter if you deposit $1 of Bitcoin, $1 of ETH, or $1 of Bearer, you're going to get back the same thing anyway. But yeah, once we've filled these vaults, IVLP will be bootstrapped. We're going to lock it at $1 million, and there will be some nice rewards on top of it, of course, coming in the form of Bearer, 20% fixed rate. IVX token in future when that comes out, 10% fixed rate. And then, of course, we're going to hopefully get set up for BGT as well. I'm sure many of you watching are aware of the news that came out from the Berachain Foundation that proof of liquidity is going to go live on Monday for ecosystem apps. And so you'll probably see our forum post go up live probably tomorrow or sometime on the weekend, just before Monday anyway. And yeah, I think at that point, yeah, it's gonna be great. So yeah, IVLP is gonna come to all of you. This is gonna be our version of JLP, which I think has performed fantastic. Of course, the downtrend being, of course, Sol's poor performance, and JLP being heavily weighted in the favor of Solana. I believe with JLP, 35% of it is Sol, and only 33% is stable coins. So they're definitely more exposed to the market than what IVLP will be. But I think it's going to be a really, really fun time to create an instrument like this, which not only earns from the trading fees like JLP, but also has these exogenous uh, exogenous rewards with the form of Bearer and IVX and BGT as well in due time. So super excited to bring this to everyone next week. It's going to be lots of fun, and yeah, we'll share more with you on that on the IVX Twitter page. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. We had lots of fun. This has been a longer show than usual, but I really appreciate your time on this Friday. Stay tuned. Make sure you get your trades done on Levo today. You can do so right now and trade a variety of different assets. And in due time, options are coming. 0-day options are coming your way. And we're going to start it all off next week with the IVLP pre-vol deposit program. Make sure you give the IVX account a follow if you're not following already. And yeah, we'll see you all again next week.
See you soon, guys.
See you later, guys.
Appreciate you.
And thank you, Mo.
Bye.